imagine the chaos that ensues. And he just had this nonchalant, chilled Mr. Bean dude popping up. Everyone's like, why this British guy here?
You're saying Mr. Bean's not a good person?
No, he is. He is a great addition to the movie.
I just want to say, for those of you who have not watched this movie, terrible theology.
Like the fact that you guys laughing proves my point. It's improving the movie just thinking about it.
Bankruptcy would be integral to the story.
My brew, hey, voice velocity, eh? Fricky.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Plot Armor, the show where we fight tough but fight fair to answer stupid questions about movies you love, hate, or have never even heard about. My name is Caleb Janssens. I'm your host for today's episode, and we are joined by some absolutely amazing people. So starting off with a fantastic man to my left, from Disney magic to DeLorean speed, he reviews with heart and stands up for need. Everybody give it up for Jay Smith. There we go. Jay, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. Yeah. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself? Just let the guys at home know a little bit more about you.
So, I'm Jay Smith. I review movies, I report on movies and TV shows, and on the odd occasion I go to the Disney parks.
Oh, I like that. I think we all need a little bit more Disney park adventures in our lives. And then, from epic quests to merch goals, he's the mastermind behind Fandom Soul, running events and reaping the lore. Give it up for Michael Lovemore.
Hi guys.
Just the coolest surname, by the way. When I knew you as Michael or Mythical Mecha, when you said that your name was Lovemore, I was like, I've never been jealous of a surname before.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Well, except in high school, everyone calls me Loveless for some reason.
We should all love more.
Yes, I agree.
Do you want to just tell us a little bit more about you, maybe a little bit about Mythical Mecha?
Sure, yeah. So Mythical Mecha is a company I started at the beginning of the year. With an intent on focusing on geek small businesses. I'm trying to load all the merchants and the artists on like a single website, as in a directory style, so that people can search for, merchants and artists at ease. Because I struggle to find merchants and artists after Comic-Con and after Rage, so I decided, let me make a single platform, a one-stop hub, just to make life easy for the geek community.
Cool, no, that's perfect. Thank you so much. And then finally, with Dice That Dazzle and Wrestling Flair, she's building a brand with style and care, where D&D magic meets the champion's might. Everyone give it up for Courtney Gordon.
Thank you so much for having me today, Caleb.
No, thank you so much for coming. For those of you that don't know, Courtney has been behind the camera before. This is her first time on. She is married to the fantastic he shares the same name as me. I didn't want to say the fantastic Caleb because he is more fantastic than I am. But yes, your husband has been on the show before.
Yes, he has.
What did you think of his performance? This is your opportunity to earn brownie points or get into a fight when you get home.
No, I thought it was good. I think maybe that there were some misgiven points, but that's more of a personal vendetta we'll talk about later.
Fantastic. Do you want to just tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know, for those of you that don't know, she makes D&D peripherals as well. So yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
So I make D&D dice. I do little curios for games and everything as well, map design. I'm also a certified makeup artist and do graphic design by trade. So it's a little bit of everything here and there, actually.
Oh, well, there we go. So we have got three really awesome guests today. But before we jump into anything else, the rules are simple. 3 contestants face off over 5 debate topics. Each round runs 10 minutes, and the host awards a point to the most passionate debater, the one with the sharpest argument and fiercest rebuttal. After 5 rounds, the top 2 scorers enter the speed round showdown. 5 rapid-fire questions with just 20 seconds to argue and 15 seconds to rebut. The overall winner gets crowned main character of the episode, while the other gladiators fade into obscurity as the extras. You will notice, all of us, that we have these fantastic drinks in front of us. This is obviously sponsored by Tibadine. We have them back, which is awesome and very exciting. I know that some people behind the camera have a huge smile right now.
Hell yeah!
So I just want to say thank you so much to Tibadine. I'm busy looking because I want to see the flavor we have today.
It's not on there.
It's not on there. Vincent, what flavor do we have today?
Let's go with blueberry mojito.
So we have blueberry mojito. I've never had mojito.
Are we allowed to actually drink it now?
You are allowed to
Because
drink it. Everyone take a sip.
It's been sitting there for a while.
It tastes like more, because I want more.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what mojito is, but this is mojito.
No, like guys, if you're watching this
Okay.
episode, look like
Don't look at me,
zoom
I'm
in,
making
zoom
bad
in,
jokes.
bring it in. This, you need to try this. Like you gotta.
Very, very good. So thank you so much, Tibadine. We're going to jump into question 1. So guys, get ready to fight. We have seen throughout the history of movies and blockbusters that a bad actor in the leading role can be the first domino in a chain reaction of bad decisions that brings a film to a crumbling disappointment. So in the spirit of that heartbreak, we ask you, what is the worst miscasting in a movie from the 21st century? And Courtney, we will start with you. This is your opening statement.
I think that the worst miscasting of the 21st century would have to be Rachel Zegler as Snow White. Not just from a point of fact because of, very controversial topics and stuff like that, but mainly because her ideals don't match with the movie's tone and beliefs that they try and portray anyway. Before the official trailers and press releases and advertising was even a thing, she was alienating the audience and telling them that the thing that we were aspiring to watch was stupid.
I love that. That's a great opening statement. And then we have Michael.
Yeah, well, one of the most notorious ones at the moment is Jared Leto as the Joker, right? So the problem with this is, I want to start by saying Jared Leto is a talented individual, but I think his representation of Joker was not very good. And the only reason I'm really saying that is because I think he's adding that punk rocky flair to the Joker, to a character that's supposed to be dark and, traumatized. So not only that, there was a lot of other reasons why the Joker, this particular casting of the Joker was not good, but I feel bad for him. He could have made it phenomenal if he just changed the way he approached it. But yeah, I don't think Joker in this instance was good. I mean, the fact that they shut him down and remade the entire franchise about a new Joker within the same decade says a lot about the miscasting. So,
And then finally we have Jay. What's your answer?
So mine is, for some might be disagreeing with me, but I think it's Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka. It's just, when I was a kid, I didn't want to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because he was just a little bit creepy.
That's fair. Okay, guys, fight it out.
So who wants
Be mean! Go! Attack!
I'll start by firing the shots, and I think I'll start with Rachel Zegler, right?
bring it?
So, I don't want to say that Rachel Zegler was a miscast for quite a number of reasons. Mm-hmm. So, first of all, as a professional actor, you're supposed to be able to, well, when you portray it in cinema, your character has to be identified as something completely independent of your personal life. Which means that it doesn't really matter what her opinions was, it's more about how she portrayed herself in the film. I think what's more of a miscast is, Gal Gadot as the Queen. Because, I mean, I'm going to argue this, I hope my girlfriend doesn't kill me, but both of them are incredibly beautiful women. But why would the Queen, the whole premise of Snow White is that the Queen gets jealous of Snow White, right? Mm. So if Gal Gadot was the Queen, I'm sorry, why would she get jealous of Rachel Zegler?
No, that's literally the whole point there. You're proving my point that she is a miscast. They should have chosen somebody, and this sounds really mean.
No, but I don't think she was the miscast. She took the form of Snow White pretty well. I think the miscast is in the movie for sure, but I think it was more on Gal Gadot's side. They should have chosen a better queen. We know that Snow White is supposed to be the fairest of them all, a very beautiful woman. And that is what Rachel Zegler is. She's not the miscast in this situation. The miscast has to be the queen. So I don't think there's anything particular wrong with Rachel Zegler being cast. Yes, I do agree that she has had some conflicting and controversial opinions before going into the movie, but it's got nothing to do with a miscast. That's got to do with the actress behind the miscast. If you see
I mean, fair enough, but the entire success of the movie is based around what your actors will eventually put out to the audience, the advertising, the marketing, everything like that. And because of her, you could say it was a miscasting for that, the wrong person to do press. She completely tanked and destroyed that whole movie. It became a meme.
Yeah.
I don't honestly think for the general audience it was a miscast of Rachel. I agree with you about Gal Gadot, but I don't think for the general audience Rachel Zegler was a miscast because she had the voice and she definitely had the look and feel of Snow White, because not a lot of people look at the interviews to then judge the film. You must go in. I've said this multiple times. Go into a film, not looking at the actors on how they act outside of the film,
Yeah, I
but
agree.
inside of the film itself.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not about the way they portray themselves outside of film. There's been numerous cases where notorious actors are terrible people outside of film, and inside they're absolutely amazing. I mean, I Amber Heard, amazing actress, absolutely terrible person behind the scenes. So I mean, it's not a miscasting to cast a bad actor. Badly opinionated actress, even though she portrays a brilliant role in the movie. So miscasting doesn't come with her, for sure.
Okay, but then I would want to bring up the argument about Jared Leto. We all know that Jared Leto can be incredibly talented. I don't think it was necessarily a miscasting, more a very rushed and unpolished script and very poor direction from the directing team on their behalf. Because we know, like, let's talk about the end of, I think it was Justice League. When he portrayed Joker talking to Batman there, was brilliant. Why couldn't he do that in Suicide Squad?
See, I know where you're going with the whole director thing and the fact that the writing was bad. Sure, the writing is one of the key problems of the whole DC franchise during that era. But that's not the point that I'm arguing now. For me, Jared Leto tried to embody the Joker too hard in the wrong way. He did method acting, which most Joker actors do method acting. He sent condoms to friends and stuff to try and get a little bit creepy almost. But again, like I say, with all of that, as you said now at the end of Justice League, he did have a good, I would say, portrayal of the Joker. He could have done that, but he didn't. That's not a directorial thing. He literally didn't act the part like he was supposed to. We had a beloved character with Heath Ledger, right? And to try and fill his shoes is a difficult task. Now you're putting someone like Jared Leto in, who again I say is a phenomenal actor and a phenomenal singer, of course. But he's literally in 30 Seconds to Mars. His whole embodiment is to be a rock artist. And there's nothing that you could say to me that will convince me otherwise that Jared Leto as the Joker was insert a rock version of Joker into this movie.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, I'm so sorry. At the end of the day, actors need to be given direction. It is not, at the end of the day, entirely the actor's fault that's directed. The actor will act, the director will approve. This is cool, what we want, don't reshoot it, don't change.
That's true, but it was notorious for this movie preparation that Jared Leto was given freedom before acting to be able to embody the role.
But then that's not miscast, that's poor direction on the production
it is a miscast
point.
because he was given the opportunity to go deep into the character and then he still portrayed it incorrectly.
Yeah, but there
I
needs to be...
agree with you on the Jared Leto part, but I think a better example of this would be Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka.
Oh, shots are coming now.
Mainly because once again the film is directed towards kids, and I think he did more of a Michael Jackson behind the scenes impression for looking and acting creepy based on the stories that have been told than like the 70s Willy Wonka.
I agree with you completely.
That is literally the definition of miscasting, because he portrayed Willy Wonka as a terribly creepy version of Willy Wonka.
So I will agree with you that Johnny Depp was a miscast for the character, not for the movie. The question obviously is based on the actor in a movie. This was a Tim Burton directed movie, which is a notoriously creepy, strange, spooky movie, right? So Johnny Depp has had a very good relationship with Tim Burton in all of his films, or many of his films. And I mean, Edward Scissorhands, Sweeney Todd, all those kinds of things, right? He is notoriously a creepy character in many of these films. So if he's trying to portray a creepy character in a Tim Burton film as a reimagination of one of the best characters, Willy Wonka, then no, he did a wonderful job. I completely agree. If you put Timothée Chalamet in that particular movie, it's not going to play out the same way. But this was a Tim Burton movie. It was supposed to be creepy. That was the intention.
Make this your final argument.
Yeah, see, I agree with you on Jared Leto because he wasn't made for that role. Same with Johnny Depp. He's not made for that role. Rachel Zegler was sort of made for the Snow White role.
Courtney, give me your final argument.
I just want to say that it's Snow White, not Sandy Brown, and that's purely subjective as well. But I feel like just you've been given this amazing opportunity to redo one of the first animated Disney movies and to come in with such bad grades. And her performance, I think, was really there was nothing special about it. Any generic female could have, been feminine and played the part well. So it's Sandy Brown and 4 CGI anomalies.
Okay, and Michael, give us your final argument.
Okay, last comment on the Rachel Zegler thing. If you already wanted to base it off of not Snow White and Sandy Brown, then probably Little Mermaid would have been a better miscasting choice for you. But I don't think Johnny Depp was a problem. I think Johnny Depp was fine in a Tim Burton movie. If you put Johnny Depp in a different Willy Wonka movie, sure, it could be a miscasting. But I think I've said enough to convince people that Jared Leto is the best miscasting, at least of this debate.
Okay, well, there we go. That is the end of the round. And before I start assigning points, I just want to know, fact checker.
So
We have a fact checker now, by the way.
I have 2 points to bring up. It's been a good, clean fight, no lying.
Don't say anything against me.
The first thing Michael's claimed, which I fact-checked, is true. As we know, Jared Leto did send gifts to his cast members. Funny enough, he came out and denied it later, but the cast fully confirmed it. Gifts included things like a living rat to Margot Robbie and some condoms to Will Smith, which made him say, he's gone full Joker. On top of that, you are correct in stating that Johnny Depp has been a main character in more than 8 of Tim Burton's films and obviously a supporting character in many more. That's all I have to add.
Thank you so much. I love that. We've been trying to find a clever way of implementing a fact checker, and I like the pop-up.
And then spontaneously, Vincent.
Yeah. Who else am I going to get to crawl on the floor to get behind the couch? Okay, so I would like to say this was a very good starting round, but I do think one person rose to the top. I just want to start off by simply saying this round is going to Courtney. I think Courtney did a fantastic job of addressing the shortcomings of the acting on screen as well as behind the camera. The thing about movies nowadays is they are a business. And while us who love films can talk about the fact that, hey, it's supposed to be about the art, it is very much a business. And when you do cast people, you cast people with the idea of making money. And Rachel Zegler did not do a good job of bringing any money. And then also, Jay,
Yeah.
Willy Wonka is creepy. That's the point. Even Gene Wilder in the 1971 film was creepy. So I understand the point you were raising.
For me, I look at the general audience, which is mainly kids, and how they view it, because they don't remember the acting. They just remember what the person looked like.
Yeah, which is terrifying. Okay, so there we go. Courtney, first point goes to you, and we are going to move into question 2. Okay, so question 2. Movies have become more accessible than ever, with an endless list of critical successes being produced with shoestring budgets. We at Plot Armor will always champion an indie effort and therefore ask you, what is the best movie with a budget under $1 million? And Michael, we will start with you.
I mean, a very, very obvious choice is Paranormal Activity, right? See, the thing that I really liked about Paranormal Activity is, at the time, the whole crew of actors was basically no-name brands. It's a weird way to say it. But it almost made it feel realistic to the general audience, because I could almost imagine myself in a situation like that. Instead of seeing all these fancy actors and top-tier actors in these really cool movies. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the actors in this movie, but it's almost like it was more realistic because I could almost relate it to myself. So, also, with a $15K budget, they made multi-million dollars. So, it's a phenomenal movie.
Now that's fair. And Jay, your answer?
So I had the answer of Blair Witch Project from 1999, and I did my own fact checking on this. And coming to the point where you said it's movies are more of like box office and money making, this on a $60,000 budget earned $248 million, which is back then huge success. And that's mainly my point, is business wise it was huge and big.
And then finally, Courtney.
My answer for this question would be Saw, the first one. It was shot with a budget very roughly around $1 million or slightly under, and was shot within 19 days. And it turned into, it created a whole subgenre. It made so many different movies, so many different, inspirations for other characters and spin-offs and everything like that. It was I'm thinking of the words English and not Englishing. It started a craze.
Fight it out. Go.
So you said $1 million or under. According to Box Office Mojo, I'm getting to this from the box office. It actually generated. The budget was actually $1.2 million. So I don't know.
I also saw that somewhere. So
Yes.
I know you're not
So
talking
you know what,
shit.
Courtney?
Wait, hold
Keep
on.
arguing as if they're wrong, because we will have Vincent fact check that.
It depends on the sources that you look at. Some say just under $1 million, some say $1 million, and some say 1.2. I did try and find out more about this. So when the production company is like, your budget is between 1 and 1.2 million, they didn't end up using the full budget, but that is what it was roughly based around.
So I'm going to present an argument that is kind of multifaceted. Sorry, I don't have a degree in English. Basically, the idea is I'm not going to say any of Blair Witch or Saw was bad. They were phenomenal movies. I'm not going to shut the movies down. I thought they were amazing. However, and here's the big point, right? The whole goal of trying to figure out a question like this is to firstly establish whether or not the budget turned out into a good return of investment. What defined how good the movie is or why the movie is so good, and like or in this case I'm going to also assign the scare factor because they all basically thriller horror movies. So the lowest movie budget at the moment was Paranormal Activity, at least between these three movies, and notoriously again the return on investment was phenomenal. It was, I can't remember the exact amount, so Vincent, please fact check me, but I believe it was $900 million that they got a return of, which is absolutely insane. And the whole point of this is because there's that spook factor. Like I said, it's a whole POV style. Now, yes, Blair Witch also had a POV style, but it's a bit of a rustic movie if you go and watch it now. Obviously, you can't blame them back then. That's how the films were created, using POV. But I personally can't rewatch Blair Witch Project. I've watched it once or twice. I can't do it again. But when it comes to the premise, it was spooky, it was scary. We don't really see anything. It was more played on fear, which was cool. In Paranormal Activity, you sort of did see what was super scary. I mean, you saw the live interaction with the ghost. It didn't only play on fear. You actually saw it was scary. And with Saw, again, I loved Saw. I watched all the movies multiple times, but it was gore porn. That's it. There was it was very little storytelling. It was just gore porn, honestly. So when it comes to which was the most, yes, Blair Witch Project came, I think, before Paranormal Activity, but I think that was genre defining, had to be Paranormal Activity. That's what basically kickstarted the whole campaign of having these POV thriller movies. So yes, Blair Witch was walking so that Paranormal Activity can run. So in that case, I do credit Blair Witch Project with kickstarting it, but it became famous because of Paranormal Activity. Lots of people actually said they found Paranormal Activity first and then Blair Witch Project, which is kind of crazy. But with the limited budget and how well it's returned, how well it's viewed, and the fact that it kickstarted, I think 8 movies, was absolutely ridiculous. I think Paranormal Activity will remain for many, many years the best low-budget movie of all time.
Yeah. See, now I've just come back from college where I got a distinction in business management. So I also checked via multiple AI, but also Googling, and it looks like a Paranormal Activity only generated $193 million.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I think business side, my answer is actually better.
Are you talking about within the box office within like a year or to date? Because I was talking to date, and I checked yesterday, and I saw it was
no. I think
it could
Well,
be.
you know what? As I will say this is something Vincent will be fact-checking for us.
Okay.
So don't rather argue about numbers, rather just keep addressing your points. We can hear the fact-checker crawling in. He will be here soon.
He will be here
I just
soon.
want to hear, Courtney.
So my rebuttal for Paranormal Activity I'm actually going to bring my notes out for this one. Give me a second.
I don't have notes. I'm so sorry. It's all up here.
I would just say that it's very slow. And there were a lot of things about it that were great. But the thing is, it was revolutionary for, like, Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity. They were very revolutionary for how they were marketed. But it doesn't mean that they were a fantastic movie. Like, if we just look at Saw, there was character development, there was tension, there was, it's one of the very few movies that I watched and I was like, oh, this isn't some generic scary movie. But
there was character development in Paranormal Activity. There's no singular character development in Saw within a single movie. It's over the whole franchise.
Well, I'm just generalizing for both of your arguments, but yes.
Okay. But there is definitely, Paranormal Activity does have character development. I mean, the whole point is Toby is one of the bad characters throughout the entire franchise. I know it's not bad characters, but hence the inverted commas. But I mean, it's a running trope about Paranormal Activity and Toby being like, a pseudo big bad in the whole franchise. So it's like it almost carried over, and it starts off with you just seeing Toby as an entity. Later on, you get to know more about his history. So by that character arc, you actually do learn about a lot of character development. So I feel like.
And Jay, you've been quiet for the last little while. Do you have anything you want to add?
Honestly, with this one, I just looked at the business side of it, and they've got very valid points. So I was just like listening to their opinions.
What I will say about Blair Witch
Well, Michael, make this your closing argument.
Right, I'll make this my last. Yeah, I will, however, give a lot of credit to Blair Witch Project, not because it's like my favorite movie of all time. I just think that the way that they did it, like sort of giving people, the actors obviously, a way to feel like they're getting scared themselves to film the movie was pretty cool. But I really like the aspect of Paranormal Activity, the whole point of view, the whole fact that there's no super famous actors. It's super relatable, which means that it's like it could happen to you. And I think that's a big thing about why it became so famous, because it was relatable.
Okay.
Cool. Jay, your final argument?
Honestly, I just think that because of I think it, fact check it, but my answer has got the lowest budget out of all of them. So for the argument of the best one under $1 million, I think mine would be the best because it comes with money.
Fair enough. And then Courtney?
So my closing argument would be, I think that Saw really elevated the horror thriller genre as a whole. Like, let's just look at rewatchability factor. You could watch Saw, all of them, a few times. Obviously not as many times as Lord of the Rings, but you will still get that same tension, that same what's going to happen now, even though it's going to happen. It's all about when, And the fact that it started a $1 billion franchise, it's been incredibly successful. It paved the way for the whole trap genre. It created the genre. And we're not even going to talk about the amount of blood that they used on sets, but it is gore porn. I 100% agree. But I just feel like a lot of the physical horror, that's what makes it what it is, because your reaction is based on what you're seeing on scene and not always about that, what if that thing over there actually comes and gets me.
You know what? I forgot to do this the last round.
Okay.
Darth Vader represents the end of a round. I got so excited about Vincent popping up. I forgot to do that. But fact checker.
Yes.
So please set the record straight in regards to...
Yeah, so obviously this is a fact-heavy round and it's important to get the numbers correctly. Unfortunately, with AI and everything going on, it's actually quite hard to pin the numbers down exactly, but I've got a pretty good idea of the budgets and everything for this movie. Everyone was mostly on point, so let's go through them. Paranormal Activity, which was released in 2007, had a budget of $15,000, so you were spot on with that, and grossed about $193 million. It's
still
also
crazy.
For judgment purposes, Paranormal Activity has an 83% critics on Rotten Tomatoes and a 57% audience. Then Blair Witch Project, which was released in 1999, was made for $60,000 and grossed $250 million. It has an 86% critic, 57% audience, so basically the same as Paranormal Activity. Saw, from 2004, had a budget of between just over $1 million to 1.2 million, which is an important thing to keep in consideration, and grossed $104 million. The critic rating is 50%, but the audience rating is 84%. So the highest audience rating, lowest critic rating in comparison.
Bye-bye. Okay, so I think it's very important to note what the actual question was. The question was never actually which film made the most money. It was simply, what is the best movie with a budget of under 1 million? And so I think the answer is very, very easy, and it goes straight to Michael, because Michael was the only one who actually spoke in depth about the actual quality and content of the film. You got very close. Your closing argument, Courtney, was fantastic. I just wish we got more of it throughout the actual round.
Very well earned.
No ways did we have to be there. No ways we did. We did the thing.
Okay, so as we stand, that's the winning couch, Jay. You've got to represent this couch. You've got to represent us. So you guys have both got 1 point each as we move on to question 3. So, as goofy as it may be, a body swap gimmick almost always brings an essence of youthful joy to a film, and we think it's been underused in cinema. So we ask you to inject a body swap element into an already existing movie. Tell us what and tell us how. Jay, let's start with you.
So I was going with The Matrix, and I've got my notes up here, and I just made the point where it flips the dynamic, adds humor to the philosophy, and honestly, it breaks the law and fixes any future sequels.
So just tell me who's doing the body swapping.
Neo and the other one. Let me just quickly get it up.
Morpheus, maybe?
Neo Smith.
Hey, there we go. Neo and Agent Smith. I like that. That's probably what I would have done as well. Okay, then let's move on to Courtney, this one's wild.
So my answer is Batman versus Superman. And the reason why I say that is because when you watch the movie, and this is also what a lot of critics said, that the movie didn't have a lot of drive to it. It's like, oh my gosh, both our mothers' names are Martha. What a coinky-dink. And I think that a body swap would really fix this issue. It would force Clark to be more human and understand all the stuff that Bruce goes through. It would force Bruce to understand what it's like to have this godlike power and have to hold back. And now with them swapping bodies, they're forced to understand each other's physical and emotional differences, and then making the whole Martha scene, which was memed into goodness knows what, make it actual sympathy that is earned. Give the movie more depth and resonance.
And then, Michael, your answer?
Deadpool and Wolverine. It's such a plain old normal answer, but let's look at how this will work, right? So we have two characters, one most likely not super talkative, being Deadpool, one being, sorry, Wolverine.
Swap them around.
one with Deadpool, where he is like, literally mouthy, super dynamic, super mental, and just swap them around. And in the metaverse, it actually could be a thing. So it'll improve the movie because it's building on a gimmick that will work naturally. The frame set's already there. You're not going to change the dynamic, but it's going to be cool just to have Wolverine almost deal with these traumas vocally, and to have Deadpool sort of be in his own head, obviously because Deadpool's going to Wolverine now, to have Deadpool sort of deal with his trauma internally. It's going to be an interesting dynamic to sort of see them switch around, I think.
Fantastic. Fired it out.
I honestly, I get where you're coming from, but both of your guys' answers I don't agree with. Story-wise, I'm not with.
Look, I agree with the story for Batman v Superman. Yeah, absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
let's just start right now. They both have trauma, a lot of trauma. The problem with the movie was not the characters per se. Yes, that is an aspect. The direction was awful. That's enough said. Swapping those characters is not going to improve the movie. You're just going to put, I would say, a charismatic man in a non-charismatic man's body, and a non-charismatic man in a charismatic man's body, both of them still being traumatized, they're not really going to learn anything. They're still going to, like, the dynamic is just going to be so weird. I think it's going to be a bit tone deaf if you do that. I think that is
it basically flatlines their story arc in a way and blocks future movies from telling the story of both sides, because Batman is supposed to be one of those characters who's just dark and won't change because of the trauma. Superman, and I remember what you said about Superman being for hope. If they switch bodies, you will not see the symbol represent hope anymore because he's got that trauma. So I don't agree with yours, and I don't agree with Deadpool and Wolverine because once again, the characters, the story wouldn't make sense.
I'll present my rebuttal on that in a second because I want to I want to take a nice big shot at the Matrix, because swapping the character kind of drives the whole point of the story out the way. I mean, we know that Neo, I want to say, is sort of like a prophesized entity in the movie. If you're going to swap them around now, there's no real story to build on. You're going to swap them out, like you're going to swap their minds around, and cool. Where does the movie go? Like, it's cool. It's a very funny concept, but it's not a funny movie.
See, I think I view superhero characters as completely different to normal movies because those are based on comics, but also when you think about it, Deadpool is a person who is at the heart the character who doesn't give a shit because he doesn't care about anything because he is unfiltered. But if you put Deadpool in Wolverine's position, he either won't change at all or he will change to the point where he's unrecognizable.
I completely go against that opinion because let's look at it, right? We know Deadpool and Wolverine, all the Deadpool movies are supposed to be chaotic, right? Deadpool and Wolverine was by far the most chaotic and of the time sweary and actiony movie. But the whole point is you want to see what chaos can ensue. That's the whole point of introducing a Freaky Friday plot twist device. And to see if that would improve the plot. So we know Deadpool is crazy. We know he's mental. We know he's very vocally. We know Wolverine is very, like held back, rage inflamed. He wants to he's got so much inbuilt trauma. I think for a change in a movie that is already set about chaos like Deadpool and Wolverine, if those two were to swap around, it wouldn't change the story much because they're still going to be pursuing the same mission. They're just going to be in different bodies, both relatively well able. They both have healing factors, but it's going to be pretty cool to see Deadpool having to deal, like I said, with his internal trauma and this rage that usually, if he gets pissed off, he slices someone. But now he has to sort of learn control, and I think as character development, that will be a phenomenal thing for Deadpool. Wolverine, however, finally gets a chance to, vocalize how he feels inside, because he's usually very held back and doesn't tell people about his internal struggles. Now, let's say he's got the mindset of Deadpool, and it's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna kill you. And then he turns to the camera and is like, come here, bub. Slices them. That would be phenomenal to see without destroying the story, keeping the chaos. So there's no way that this switcheroo will be a bad thing. In Batman v Superman, it doesn't really change anything. They're not going to progress. The story is going to stay just as bland. And Matrix just falls flat because Neo, he is the one. If you're swapping two people there now, there's no real way for the movie to go forward, So I'm more looking about if you were to swap the characters and then let them progress to the movie, how that progression will take place. And I just don't see it for Batman v Superman.
For me, superhero movies, they stick to. I don't know if this is true, but our fact checker can see. I think Deadpool, the film version, is not really he doesn't correlate to the comics.
It's not supposed to.
Yeah, and once again, I don't think superhero movies can have that body swap versus.
I agree. In a generic superhero movie, for sure. If you're in Avengers and you swap randomly, let's say Thor and Black Panther. It's not going to make sense. However,
Phineas and Ferb actually had the Marvel special where everybody swapped powers, and you could see the dynamics change completely.
No, I completely agree. In a generic, but this is a superhero movie where both characters share very similar powers, right? They're both, I want to say, athletic and acrobatic, but Wolverine's more athletic, Deadpool's more acrobatic. Regardless, besides the point. They are very well capable similarly. They both have regenerative abilities. The only thing that is different basically between Deadpool and Wolverine is how their mind works. So that's why I say for this case, it would be a really cool idea to see how their minds would be swapped around with basically the same characteristics. You're just basically swapping the minds around.
I'd like to hear from Courtney. She's been uncharacteristically
I
quiet.
have been trying to be polite and not like insert myself.
Don't be polite.
It's in my nature, unfortunately. Okay, so let me address Deadpool and Wolverine first. You yourself, not 2 minutes ago, said it wouldn't necessarily make the plot that much better. And the whole question
No, I said it won't make it different.
Won't make it different. But the question is, what would improve the movie the most?
Not the movie story.
But the thing is, it's a one joke kind of plot device.
But all Deadpools are.
Yeah, but the thing is, that doesn't improve the overall story.
Like
it's just a one joke thing.
Like if you watch any of the Deadpools now, it's unrelatable. You have to watch it in the moment. So if they made a movie right now, insert Deadpool, Wolverine, swap their minds around, it's going to be phenomenal right now. We're not talking about future progression. We're talking about, is it going to be funny? Is it going to be improved? We're not talking about the story. We're talking about the dynamic potentially.
Yeah,
I mean,
but the thing is, you're going to walk out of the theater and be like, oh, that body swap was really cool. It doesn't make the story any more in
Freaky
depth.
Friday plot twist device. It's not going to make it different for Matrix or for Superman v Batman.
It can for Batman and Superman.
No, they're both traumatized characters.
Oh, and Wolverine and Deadpool aren't.
They are, but
they are the most traumatized
but
characters.
here you get to see them swapping around how their trauma gets dealt with. You don't see that in Batman v Superman.
Wait, but if you let me explain, you can see that we will...
So, Courtney, just make this your final argument.
Okay. When it comes to the Superman versus Batman, it's going to give Bruce and Clark the understanding of one another. They are going to see how each other live. It's going to further their character development, and that very traumatic moment of when they're busy finding out about, oh, this is both our mother's name. It's actually going to give earned sympathy. The way it is now isn't, and I don't... No offense, I don't understand the whole Matrix thing, and I understand that your argument, but the whole reason why the Matrix works is because it's everybody else in humanity versus the machines. Now you're having the machines swap bodies with Neo the One. Nobody else can do what Neo does. Neo is the definition of a main character, and it completely throws out the dynamic of humanity versus the enemy. It just breaks the law.
Jay, your final argument?
So I chose The Matrix because it's the main reason is because it's completely opposite to like how people think of a body swap plot. Because once again, I see superhero movies as going towards what the comic versions go towards, except Deadpool. But that's literally the main reason why I chose something that doesn't take inspiration from a comic book.
And Michael, your closing argument.
So yeah, I still don't get the point of Neo, unfortunately. Like, I just think the story drops flat there. Well, the whole Batman v Superman thing, like, I still stay strong to my point that swapping the characters is not sufficient to improve the movie. The plot itself is the problem in the movie. With Deadpool and Wolverine, the plot for the movie is set out. It's good. No one has a gripe with it. What will improve it is to just change the dynamics between the two characters. That's how it will be improved. In any of the other cases, just swapping the characters is not sufficient to improve the movie. They have to get, well, one, the story doesn't work, and the other one, there is no story. So, or no good story. Well, Deadpool and Wolverine, the story is there, the frame set is there, the chaos is there. Just swap the minds out around and see how it plays out. So, yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine will be my winner.
There we go. Darth Vader says...
There is no escape.
So that means that's the end. Okay, Vincent, do you want to pop up and give us some facts?
Yes. Okay. So I thought it'd be interesting to look at some history in the comics in regards to how the superheroes have body swapped before, as there has been body swap stories in certain comics. A lot of them are not canon, but some of them are just spin-offs. And it doesn't matter. In the case of Marvel, there have been a few, more than a dozen body swap stories, one notably being where Wolverine and Spider-Man are body swapped by Jean Grey. An interesting thing is DC has done a Superman and Batman body swap. Twice has there been body swap that I could find instances. One was where Batman and Superman were swapped with people in their family or other people, not each other. And then in a JLA Foreign Bodies storyline, which I believe is a comic or a graphic novel, which was all about body swapping, Batman and Superman were swapped by a character I believe called Cobra. I am not a DC fan, and that's what I could find in the time we had. And then to note what Jay said, Deadpool is definitely more crazy and more Ryan Reynolds in the movies than he is in the comics, but recent comics have kind of tried to merge the character to look more like the movie version of the character. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I think maybe next time we must have him pop out at other random places.
Yeah. Wait, I don't have enough secret doors.
Well, then we need to put scaffolding on the roof.
So this one was very interesting, as in when we received the answers, I was like, oh, 2 of these are great. One of them, I never understood the appeal of. I'm looking at you, Courtney. I just don't understand the appeal of swapping a Superman and Batman around, because once you get rid of Superman's powers, he's basically just a man. And Batman can already stand up to Superman without powers, giving him powers. Clark Kent is just going to buy some more farms and go back to being Clark Kent. But unfortunately, I appreciated the idea you brought to it in regards to dealing with trauma and stuff like that, but I still just don't see how it would improve Batman vs. Superman. I'm one of the few people in the world that genuinely love that movie and think it's a good movie. Your answer of The Matrix, I was the most excited for, because I was like, oh, damn. Neo and Agent Smith, that's a good idea. Unfortunately, Michael brought up such a good point, and then Courtney just hammered it home of, you had this prophetic character, how are you going to deal with this prophetic character body swapping? Yeah. And unfortunately, you never gave a solid, good answer that I felt actually rebutted that point. And so I'm going to give the point to Michael as well, because Michael also addressed all of everyone's concerns and he rebutted them perfectly, bringing up the fact that, Wolverine and Deadpool do have similar power sets. They do have similar struggles, but the way they process them is different. And honestly, Deadpool and Wolverine is such a crazy film that something like a body swap would not come. Like, if we saw it in the film, none of us would be like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like, I'm shocked it didn't happen, to be frank. So, currently, as we stand, 2 points, Michael, 1 point, Courtney. And Jay, you're still sitting on 0, but don't worry, this can still go in any direction, especially as we head into what is arguably going to be the most ferocious round, because I've seen your guys' answers. So, let's jump straight into question 4. Music can make or break an epic scene. It can be the element that pushes tears in your eyes or tears on your cheek. Oh, wait, no. Vincent, I don't like how you wrote this one. Okay.
Bad direction.
Music... I'm coughing. Music can make or break an epic scene. It can be the element that pushes tears in your eyes to tears on your cheeks, or a smirk into an ear-to-ear smile. So we ask you, what is the best use of a song in a movie? And Courtney, let's start with you.
My time has come. You don't understand how many people I've told this to over the years, but I'm going to say the Dies Irae from Sweeney Todd. And the reason why I say this is that the Dies Irae isn't only used in one song in Sweeney Todd. The entirety of Sweeney Todd is built around the combination of notes in the Dies Irae. Now, the Dies Irae is essentially the song of death, and it was created a few centuries ago, actually, to represent the Grim Reaper and death. And many, many filmmakers use this in movies to represent death. Like Lion King is one of them, when Luke Skywalker finds his aunt and uncle burnt on Tatooine. And if you look throughout Sweeney Todd, all of the musical structure is based on the Dies Irae, whether it be turned around, whether it be bits and pieces. It is the best use of a song and is throughout the entire movie.
That's a very good, strong opening. And then, Michael, yours is?
Mine is going to be the immigrant song from Thor Ragnarok. And I'm going to lay this framework out from the beginning. This song was written by Robert Plant, almost emphasized and motivated off of his love of Viking culture. It was inspired by Norse mythology. Literally, within the first, I think, 2 paragraphs, or sorry, I don't know song literature, how it works, but within the first couple of lines, it literally says a hammer from the gods. It's literally a song designed for Thor to use. Now, in this action scene, particularly in Thor Ragnarok, when he starts using all these cool lightning abilities and everything, the song starts to play. And the whole point with this kind of question is you want to find almost a scene-defining song. And I don't think there is any other better scene-defining song than the immigrant song from Thor Ragnarok.
And then finally, Jay, your answer is?
So mine is Back in Black by AC/DC in Spider-Man Far From Home. And I think it's beautiful because it's nostalgic, but also it was an appropriate song for that scene.
Okay, cool. Let's start fighting. But when we start fighting, explain to me why it was important in that scene.
Mainly because that was the specific scene where Spider-Man was creating his own suit using Tony Stark's technology, and that song is specifically from the first Iron Man and the opening scene with Tony Stark.
Cool, fight it out.
I agree. However, fact checker, please. But you don't need to. I know this is true. So within the first scene of Iron Man 1, right? This song was playing. So we immediately associate Back in Black with Iron Man. There's another AC/DC song that does come in Iron Man 2, I believe. So AC/DC is very much associated with Iron Man. We know this. And yes, you can say that Spider-Man was Iron Man's, I would say...
Prodigy.
Yeah, prodigy. Thank you. I wanted to say stewardess, but that's like the complete wrong word. So no, that's completely wrong. However, I feel what you say is true, but I think the negative impact is more prominent. You're putting Spider-Man then in Iron Man's shadow. Because the whole point of this song playing is to introduce a concept that, hey, look, this is Iron Man's prodigy. Iron Man's dead at this point. I'm sorry, but there's no point in bringing him up. We're now focusing on Spider-Man's development. He doesn't even know the song. He calls it Led Zeppelin in the movie. He literally says, isn't it Led Zeppelin? It's like, yeah, that's Led Zeppelin. Cool. He doesn't even know. So, I mean, if the nod is really going to be about Iron Man, at least have it have been in a couple of movies before where, you know, Iron Man is sort of giving the song almost as a rite of passage, playing it while helping Spider-Man, you know, teach him some techniques. But I think it kind of falls flat because it's not defining Spider-Man Far From Home. It's calling a nod to Iron Man, but it doesn't define the scene.
Yes.
So,
see, I just see it because Mysterio has then taken the glasses to and saying that he is the new Iron Man, and I just think this song makes it good because it's saying no, Peter Parker can be the new Iron Man, and shows how he already knows how to use the technology and how he can collaborate with the technology in order to build his new suit with technology.
for sure. But if you are passing down the torch, you don't want to carry on the old school way of doing things. I'm not saying AC/DC is old school. What I'm saying is, if he was like, yeah, isn't that Led Zeppelin type of thing, maybe they switched it then to a Led Zeppelin song. That would have made the song more defining. If you listen to AC/DC's Back in Black now, you're not going to remember Spider-Man Far From Home, that scene. You're going to remember Iron Man scene, you know, the very start of Iron Man. So when it comes to whether or not it is defining a particular scene, it doesn't do a good job.
See, my main argument is that it's showing on how Peter Parker was incorrect when it came to giving Mysterio the glasses, but it mainly shows as well that he already knows Tony Stark's technology and everything, and showing on how happy was emotional with the audience just shows you that Tony Stark's legacy is still alive with Peter Parker.
But that's got nothing to do with the song. That's because of the legacy that Tony Stark gave to Peter Parker. The song doesn't make it more impactful. Not at all.
I think it's just like a background of like saying wow, that's literally, even when Tony Stark is dead, he's still there with Peter Parker,
So
and
I completely
there.
agree with you. The nod is cool, but it doesn't define the scene. The whole point is which song was super impactful, and that's why I think the Immigrant Song is even more better. I'll get to that song in a second. But the reason why the Immigrant Song is so cool is because it's a defining moment in the Thor movies. Thor 1 was good, Thor 2 was ass, and Thor 3 was magnificent. And if you go and listen to the Immigrant Song, if it plays anywhere, the first shot of thought that goes into your mind is that scene where he's unleashing all his superpowers. There is no better scene-defining song that plays, than that. Jeez, is everyone okay? There's no better scene-defining song than that, because that song plays, there's lightning. You know there's going to be lightning. You know it's about Norse mythology. You know that basically it is super on theme. It's like the song was designed for this movie. Yes, obviously it preceded the movie, but I mean, it was designed for the movie. When it comes to Sweeney Todd, again, I think, I don't want to say cheating, but I mean, the whole point of Sweeney Todd, it's a musical, right? Mm-hmm. If there's one score that is carried along throughout the movie, it's not defining a particular scene. It's not super memorable. Which I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm just gonna say Dies Irae.
Dies Irae.
Dies Irae. Which I would say toned version, the slow down tempo, the faster tempo of that score is the one that's super memorable. Because when I heard that song, I thought of the Lion King scene. And then I also thought of the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, depending on which version that you're used to. But it's not defining Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd defines Sweeney Todd. Using it as a score, I mean, it's more of the singing that characterizes how cool the movie is in Sweeney Todd. Using it as just a score is not like a super scene-defining moment, and it doesn't make it super memorable in the movie. The thing that makes it memorable is, seeing Alan Rickman and Johnny Depp sing. That is, for me, the memorable part, not the fact that they used Dies Irae.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, but we're not talking about the best use of a song in a scene. We're talking about the best use of a song in a movie.
Well, let's just quickly get the wording again.
What is the best use of a song in a movie?
Yeah, so the best use of a song, not uses of a song.
It's essentially the same song being used over and over again.
It's different versions of the same song.
It's the same structure of the song.
When you look at this kind of question, you're trying to find a a scene-defining song usage. Yes, Dies Irae is used well in Sweeney Todd, but it is not used in a wow, Dies Irae in this particular movie. That's insane.
Okay, well, you're not supposed to think, oh my gosh, this is a Dies Irae. It has everything to do with the psychological impact that certain music has on your audience. Like Thor Ragnarok's Immigrant Song. Listen, it was cool. When you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's Thor. But
if you heard Thor Ragnarok, the Immigrant Song on the radio, you agree that you'll definitely remember that specific scene from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, but the song doesn't improve it. It's just like, oh my gosh,
it's not about improving. It's about a good use of a song.
We have a badass moment. We need a badass song for it.
If I hear Dies Irae on the radio, I'm not going to think of Sweeney Todd. I actually didn't think of Sweeney Todd.
That's also personal preference.
No, sure. I agree that is personal preference, but I mean, I've heard that song in other...
Michael, make this your closing argument.
Right. I've heard that in other more notable movies. So Dies Irae is used in many movies. It is a phenomenal, I wanted to say, composition. And it is used everywhere. It really is. But for me, it doesn't define the movie. And I think in this particular thing, you're looking for a song that is super well used. And again, I think that AC/DC is... It's not tone deaf. It's a good choice. It's just not the best choice. I think there's other ways to give a nod to Tony Stark. I think the Immigrant Song does a very good job at sort of nailing the point that, listen here, this is Thor. He's reactivated. He doesn't need Mjolnir. He doesn't need, I think it's Stormbreaker, whichever one it is. He doesn't need that to use his powers. He has the ability. And I think this is a big defining moment. And again, if you listen to the radio and you hear the Immigrant Song, your first thought is going straight to Thor Ragnarok.
See, that's...
Make this your closing argument.
Yeah, it's more of clip worthy, because whenever I'm on social media, I always see that as the clip where I see the AC/DC song being more of emotional connection to the audience, not like I've got backlights on my TV. I use the Immigrant song clip to test it. I don't use it to watch the movie and think about Thor. That's not what I do. I see it as emotional connection to the audience, the song.
Courtney, your closing arguments?
Okay, so I'm leaving you alone for now. We've spoken enough. I think that, listen, the Back in Black was cool. Again, it was just like, I think Iron Man did it way better. And the whole reason I think that the directors and everything used Back in Black in Far From Home, it was like, oh my gosh, member berry. Did you guys, we referenced the movie in the movie. We did the thing. It didn't actually add or improve the scene or the movie in any way. I honestly had to look back and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, that song was in this movie. And when it comes to the Immigrant song, it does say like, this is Thor's song. It does represent that, but I don't think if you took it out of the movie, it wouldn't make the movie any less or any more impactful. It's just, this is a cool song for a cool moment.
Okay. Wait, I keep forgetting about Darth Vader now that we have a fact checker. Vincent, do you want to come out?
Dice, by the way.
I always want to come out. Okay. A few things. So Dies Irae is from the 13th century, but it's actually hard to pinpoint because it's so old. So it is very old. The Immigrant song does include the line, the hammer of the gods will drive our ships to new lands. The Back in Black song is indeed the very first thing you hear in the MCU, which is quite interesting. I want to correct double-checking the question as well. Definitely does allow for multiple uses of the same song as long as it's highlighting one song in one movie. So Courtney's good there. And then lastly, Dies Irae has been used in a lot of movies. It has kind of become a sound synonymous with tragedy and death. It's been used in movies such as Clockwork Orange, Harry Potter, Star Wars Episode 4, The Shining, It's a Wonderful Life, Home Alone, and many more. That's all I have to add.
Thank you. So this one, I thought had a very clear winner moving in. I would say I was surprised at the quality of the arguments from all sides, and I was shocked when the winner came to me. I would like to just start off by saying, if it was based purely off of answers, Courtney would have won this. Please don't send Caleb after me.
Oh, I don't need to send Caleb after you.
Your answer is arguably the best answer. But if I didn't know what the Dies Irae was beforehand, if I hadn't done my own research based purely off of your contribution to the debate, I still would have no idea what we were talking about. And for that reason, that's why you don't get the point. But I would just like to say to those of you who are watching this, you should go watch Sweeney. You've made me do a deep dive. You did make me do, yeah.
It's good, right?
It's a good movie.
The film does not exist without the Dies Irae in its DNA. The film can't exist without it. It's just I didn't feel like you really hammered that point home hard enough.
Caleb, what didn't you understand? Because I literally said that this song is about the Grim Reaper and death.
He used hammer.
Shut up.
No, so it's just that. Like if I didn't know it was specifically just a few melodies, not the whole song, that's specifically what I'm referring to. In regards to your, I understand for a brief period, I was going to give you the point.
Really?
I really was. But I think across the board, Michael really just destroyed this round. He brought up good reasons why the song, even though it predates Thor, works specifically well for Thor. He talks about the emotional connection that we have as the audience, how excited we get. You kind of proved this point also by talking about the fact that you do use that scene on your movie. So, on your TV. Yeah. So yeah, that's 3 points to Michael, 1 to Courtney, and then 1 to Jay. So you've got a comfortable lead.
That's incorrect.
Yes, sorry?
Yeah.
0. What did I say? Oh, sorry. So 0 to Jay, 1 to Courtney, 3 to Michael. You've got a comfortable lead. If you get this one, you still have an opportunity to make it into speed rounds. As of right now, you're going to make it to speed rounds if he doesn't get the point. Okay, so moving on to question 5. I'm just checking my phone quickly. I feel like I'm getting death threats from Courtney. No, I'm joking. Okay, so question 5. He is a man with a few words. I will. Damn it, this is a good one. You know, every so often Vincent just writes something that makes me laugh. He is a man with few words, and I will too be for this question. Make Mr. Bean the main character in an existing movie. Michael, we will start with you.
All right, so I said This Is the End. I don't know if you guys have watched This Is the End, but the whole premise of the movie is the world is f***ing ending. Literally. And it's a band of super famous characters, like actors now. Jay Baruchel, Seth Rogen, James Franco, Rihanna, Daniel Craig. Literally, Emma Watson's in the thing. But all of these guys band together and they go to James Franco's house for a party. Imagine the chaos that ensues. And you just had this nonchalant, chilled Mr. Bean dude popping up. Everyone's like, why this British guy here? And the world is ending. People are going nuts. People are going crazy. And Mr. Bean is just sitting outside. Sorry, I'm saying fuck a lot, but chilling outside on his tan bed, just chilling, super carefree in the world while everyone's getting sucked up. I mean, if you haven't watched the movie, if you are a super good person and you get sucked into the air, obviously it's the rapture now, right? So you're going now to heaven, and if you're bad, then you have to sort of redeem yourself. But I can just see a super chaotic thing about Mr. Bean just being super carefree in such a world.
You're saying Mr. Bean's not a good person?
No, he is. He's a great addition to the movie.
Okay, cool. No,
I have a rebuttal for that.
I just want to say, for those of you who have not watched this movie, terrible theology.
Super funny, though.
And then, Jay, your answer.
So my answer was Home Alone. Because imagine replacing Kevin with Mr. Bean, and you just see a teddy launcher, and you just hear after this like it's done, yeah. And then also like just sometimes you just see him like fail and you just see him slip on something, and then like immediately there's comedic chops, but like just the thought of hearing it's like the giggle is just, it's so Mr. Bean typed up and like no words whatsoever. So it makes the movie more comedic, but also, you know, it's Mr. Bean. Well, what can you do?
I'm nervous to say this next one. Courtney?
Yes, Caleb.
What's your answer?
My answer for this question is Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio. So a lot of people...
Yeah, no, we're all, everyone's laughing under their breath. This is a wild answer.
I'm just thinking, yikes, I'm sorry to interrupt, but...
There is actual reason behind why I'm saying this. So a lot of people critiqued Inception for being overly cold and complex. If we put Mr. Bean into something like that, the fact that you guys laughing proves my point. It's improving the movie just thinking about it. And the reason why I say that is that Mr. Bean already works on sort of dream-like physics. He has that childhood whimsy. He has the ability, I think he would fit in perfectly well. Just imagine walking into somebody's dream and he's there holding Teddy and he's just like, yes, this is the place that we're going to destroy it. And he really doesn't say much. He sort of just gestures and everything like that. And I think he would be a very good fit for that universe.
Cool. So before we carry on, you're about to start fighting and I want to see some haymakers, but I just want to repeat the question. Make Mr. Bean the main character in an existing movie and fight.
All right, cool. I'm going to start off addressing that question immediately. A main character, the reason why I chose This Is the End is because there are several main characters. None of them are more main or less main than the other. So let's just say you're swapping Jay Baruchel out for Mr. Bean now. All right. You actually posed a relatively good question. Do I not think Mr. Bean is good? I think he's phenomenal. I think he's very good. I think the reason it wouldn't be taken up by the rapture is because we all know Mr. Bean. He's carefree. He's a klutz. And imagine he's being sucked up. It's like, yeah. And that literally happened to James Franco in the movie, where he was being sucked up, and then straight after that, he was like, f*** you guys. And then God was like, cool, go back to Earth. Like, this exact thing would happen with Mr. Bean completely. It would add such a dynamic, right? Now, getting to Home Alone, there's no plot. I'll explain why. The whole purpose of Home Alone is these robbers are outside and they're like, oh, this kid is going to be so easy to rob. And every time that they fail, they're like, no, we got to do it. We can't let a kid beat us. We can't let a kid. If you change the kid with Mr. Beast, almost said Mr. Beast, wow. If you change him with Mr. Bean, right, the plot stops. They don't really care. First of all, there's two reasons. Mr. Bean will be carefree. He can be carefree in either he's not even going to know that he's being broken into, or secondly, if he does know he's going to be broken into, he's going to pack up his bag and he's going to run, probably dropping half the shit out as he's running away. But I mean, there's no progressive plot after that. You swap him around with the little kid, and it either becomes creepy if he does try and fight these guys, or there's just no plot because...
See, I just find it a good thing because you could see the robbers just saying, we can't let this fool beat us, this idiot of a British man beat us, especially with this teddy bear that he should have left alone long time ago.
But I think he would take his teddy bear and he would run away. So yes, he would hold on to his dear teddy bear, but that teddy bear will be the reason he's deterred from staying in the house in the first place. He will take his teddy bear and he would run away with his jammies and his night hat. He would just bolt in the middle of the night, go and stay with a friend or something because he's carefree. He doesn't want to be involved with the drama. I mean, look how carefree he was in that movie. Literally, up the Mona Lisa. He didn't care. He tried to like patch it up with some paint. It looked awful. He smeared it. Doesn't matter. He left it. In a trigonometry like little test that he wrote, he was so unbothered by it. If these people are going to be breaking in, he's not going to want to get involved with that. He's going to leave. He's either going to leave or he's going to forget about it and just sleep in his...
See, I looked at it as a comedic point of view.
It would be comedic for 10 minutes.
And what it would be good is bringing Mr. Bean back into pop culture.
I will agree with you there. I think we do need more Mr. Bean in pop culture. And I would watch the movie. I just don't think there would be much of a movie to watch, but I would watch the movie. Yeah.
Courtney went.
Sorry. I'm going to address Home Alone. I do think it'll be very funny. I would love to see Rowan Atkinson's Mr. Bean in Home Alone. But the thing is, you're swapping a kid out for a man-child. It doesn't improve anything. It just puts a slightly different dynamic on it. And as much as it would be entertaining, it doesn't necessarily improve the plot or anything about the movie. When it comes to, what is it? The name of your movie?
All right, this is the end.
This is the end. I think also it could be cool, but the thing is, Mr. Bean is incredibly innocent and has that childlike wonder. I don't think he could necessarily fit in very well with his type of humor in that world.
Well, the cool thing about this movie is because there's so many different main characters with different dynamics, it would work flawlessly because you literally have Michael Cera doing drugs on Rihanna. Like that's what happens in the movie. Well, I don't know if it's on Rihanna, but with Rihanna or something.
But like, could you imagine sorry. Mr. Bean, this childhood comedian that you see
in the movie? Jonah Hill is there. Yeah, he's also funny.
Yeah, okay, but it's Jonah Hill. Let me be honest, real quick.
Mr. Bean is the Jonah Hill of our past. It's the same thing. However, though, right? With less swearing, of course. When we come to
Michael, make this your closing argument.
Oh, shit. Okay. When it comes to Inception, right?
I don't know what about this round specifically made Michael go, this is the time I start swearing.
I'm so sorry, guys. Mr. Bean's a passionate thing. No, when it comes to Inception, I don't really see how it's at all beneficial. Like, yes, he is dreamlike, but I don't think he's carefree. I don't think he's really going to... lock out of a dream. He's just going to be like, let's say in this whole dream world, he's busy chilling. Let's say that he's chilling at a beach. He's not going to try and get out of the dream world. He's just going to chill there. He's so carefree. He doesn't care. I don't think there's any plot in Inception. And I unfortunately also don't think there's much of a plot left in Home Alone. It'll be funny as hell, but I don't think there's going to be any Mr. Bean plot if he is in Home Alone. I think there's a lot of plot in This Is the End.
I think I don't agree. I just thought of this now. I think the camera caught me like,
Eureka.
You mentioned that in the movie that there's co-main characters. Now that would take spotlight away from Mr. Bean a lot.
No. Can I comment? You said it was last argument, so I can't.
Unfortunately, you can't comment.
Okay.
So that would mean that there's less pull on Mr. Bean.
Not sponsored.
Please, we are open to it, Mr. Beast.
Right here.
Cool. And then Courtney, closing arguments.
So I think I'm going to leave what I said about Home Alone. It could be very entertaining. It doesn't necessarily improve it. You're just swapping the main character for somebody else. When it comes to your movie, I think that like, again, yeah, it could be cool, but I think Mr. Bean being in Inception, just imagine Leonardo DiCaprio trying to keep a hold on this man from going and wandering off and completely destroying someone's entire subconscious and doing what he does in the real world in somebody's brain. That could be incredibly interesting. It could add a lot of depth. It could add a lot of different plot hooks. And that would be my argument.
Vincent, just pop your head around the corner.
That man dove.
he completely forgot until I picked up Darth Vader.
Along with Michael's swearing, he also decided to be very factually inaccurate with this round.
Oh no!
So
What happened?
All fact checks are on Michael. First of all, I don't know if you picked this up, but you claimed Daniel Craig was in not.
Yeah, he's not in the movie.
This is the end.
Daniel Craig. Okay, this is gonna.
Who are you thinking of? Channing Tatum.
No.
Okay, I'd also think about James.
I'm trying to think
James
of the
Bond
name.
is not in the movie.
No. It's not Daniel Craig. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll give you a second to figure that one out.
Yeah. Okay. So you know Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh yeah.
Andy Samberg.
No. The Pontiac Bandit. What's his name?
Oh yes. No. Take your panties off.
Yes.
Your panties off.
Come on, Rihanna, take your panties. Yeah, that one.
I'll tell you soon.
Thank you. Sorry, that guy, not Daniel Craig. I'm so sorry, James Bond.
Okay, wait. Let's quickly check that. Who's the Pontiac Bandit?
He's the Pontiac Bandit.
It is a Daniel, I'm
It's
sure.
also he's the warehouse.
Craig Robinson.
Yes.
Sorry.
There you go.
yeah,
That's where the
Yeah.
confusion came in.
Craig Robinson. Okay. Then you said Mr. Bean effed up the Mona Lisa. He did not. He effed up the Whistler's mother in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Which is the
I watched it
woman
when I was a
sitting on the
kid.
chair.
But you agreed, it was an artwork that he did ruin, right?
Whistler would be very either offended or happy to be compared to Da Vinci.
My bad.
Then finally, you said Michael Cera does drugs with Rihanna. He does not. What
I did
happens
change
is-
that,
yes.
yeah.
So fun fact, there's a scene where he slaps Rihanna's bum
Yes.
as she walks past, and he asked her, "Can I slap it for real?" And then she says, "Yes, if I can slap you for real." So
yeah.
he slapped her for real. She slapped him for real. He did blow cocaine in someone's face though in a scene.
Oh, that was Jonah
That's-
Hill that he blew.
No, it
I
wasn't
don't
even
know
Jonah
exactly,
Hill.
but
It was.
No, it was.
I doubt it'll have any weight.
It
on
won't
it.
have any weight on my answer.
None of these comments will affect my argument.
I love the way that the song that that was immediately sung was the panties.
Yeah, no, it's just no, that's in the movie, and he's literally singing it with Rihanna.
He's literally singing
Yeah.
with Rihanna.
I would like
I'm
to
so
make
sorry.
one final statement about this movie. I think it's a great comedy. Do not get your theology from it. They do not understand biblical theology.
And Backstreet Boys was in it.
And you know what? I don't think the first thing that would happen is Mr. Bean would flip everybody off as he's going to heaven. I think it's more believable that Mr. Bean would fight back than flip people off as he goes to heaven. Although he does flip people off. in
No,
Mr.
but he
Bean's
doesn't
holiday.
know what it
But he
means.
doesn't- I know,
He
I
just
know.
walks around like, yes.
Not in Mr. Bean's holiday, in the Mr. Bean movie.
Ah, yes. Okay,
It would
sorry.
be funny though.
It would be funny. But we're not here to argue funny. We're here to argue facts.
Improve.
This is a serious question. And the least serious answer was Inception. No, your answer was actually really, really good. Unfortunately, you don't get the point for
Because
this
what
one.
to improve, bro?
I don't think you improve Inception by bringing Mr. Bean in. I will say, for the question that intrigued me the most and actually gave me the best answer and the best arguments and everything was Jay. Jay, your answer for Home Alone is the right one in my opinion, and my opinion is the only one that matters. So, there we go. Well done. So, now it gets a little bit complicated.
Okay.
Because obviously we have 3 points to Michael, 1 point to Courtney, 1 point to Jay. So what's actually going to happen now is we are going to do an impromptu speed round. What's going to happen is I will ask you guys a question. You do not know this question. You have to then give me an answer. Whoever gives me the answer gets to argue first, but I'll tell you when to start arguing. So I'm going to ask you a question. You both give me an answer. Then whoever gave me the answer first has 20 seconds to make their point. The other person argues for 20 seconds, and then we have 15-second rebuttals. So,
Oh, is it like those Instagram reels?
exactly like
I'm not involved in this, right?
You're not involved in this. You can just sit there looking pretty. Okay. So, the question is, which board game that doesn't already have one most deserves a movie?
Monopoly.
Ah, jeez. Blood on the Clock Tower.
That's a cool game.
I've never played that game before. That's rare that I don't know. Okay.
Blood on the Clock Tower.
I thought you said G's. That's what I was like commenting on G's being.
What's Blood on the Clock Tower?
Blood on the Clock Tower is actually a more advanced, in-depth version of Werewolf.
Ooh, okay, cool. Okay, so how it went, I obviously heard you first, Jay. Jay, you have 20 seconds to argue your point, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. 20 seconds.
Okay, so I think that Monopoly would be a good movie, mainly because it would lean into the business side of things, and and bankruptcy would be integral to the story.
You have 5 seconds. Want to say anything else? Oh. Okay, cool. Okay, Courtney, your 20 seconds start now.
I think a movie of Blood on the Clock Tower could be good and interesting because it involves with a good team and a bad team. And it has everything to do with deceiving the person that you're talking to, getting irrelevant information, and it leads to people getting killed in the night. It could be an insane detective movie, and there could be a lot of interesting elements and twists.
Time. There we go. You have 15 seconds to rebuttal her, starting now.
I think your answer is a good one, but it's sort of been done already by Knives Out, and especially when it comes to the Among Us part of it.
Cool. Okay, we'll go with that. And then, Courtney, your 15 seconds to rebuttal starts now.
I think Monopoly could be cool, but the thing is, I don't think it would be that super interesting to watch. I think that it is mid at best, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're literally running each other around a board and or buying hotels. If I wanted to do that, I could just look at the stock market. Breathe.
Okay, cool. And just like that, we have the people going into the speed round, which is obviously Michael. Woo! And then we're going to go with Courtney. There we go. Little bit of advice for a speed round. Take advantage of all the time. Don't cut yourself short. You cut yourself out of 10 extra seconds where you could have really just torn her down. But
if it's any consolation prize, I would have chosen Monopoly because I think Monopoly would have been phenomenal.
And also, it doesn't have to revolve around the board. I mean, the Super Mario Bros. Movie didn't revolve around a single line of grass and jumping.
Fair enough. Did they not jump in the whole movie? Did they never jump?
But they did have the Rainbow Road.
Yeah, but it's like it wasn't revolved around someone playing a Nintendo Switch.
Fair enough. Okay, so what's going to happen now is obviously we are going to move into the speed round showdown. Let me read you the rules quickly.
Sorry, I love judging, so...
That's perfect. You'll be judging with me. We are going to be judging the two of them. Cool, so obviously moving into this, Michael, you've already got 3 points. Courtney, you have 1. So you've got to catch up before you have the opportunity to even start competing for the chance of the crown. So let that just be in the back of everybody's minds. Michael, you're leading by 2 points. We're going to go straight into the first question now. The exact same process as earlier. I ask you the question. You guys answer. Whoever answers first gets to go first. So, which movie villain's plan made the most sense?
I got one. Yeah. Definitely Lord Voldemort.
Okay. Courtney?
I would say that the villain that made the most sense, Sauron.
Okay,
oh,
cool.
my word. This is a literal battle.
So you're going to go first, and your 20 seconds starts now.
So that usually people are going to obviously debate me on this fact that Lord Voldemort, why is he going for a kid? But this kid was literally the downfall of him. The whole reason that he went out of power and lost all of his abilities was solely because of this one kid. Of course, there is, why are you battling a kid? I understand those kinds of things, but Lord Voldemort's grudge is particularly with Harry Potter. So.
Time. Okay, Courtney, you are going to start your 20 seconds now.
I think that the way Sauron went about trying to conquer Middle-earth was potentially the most effective way. He tried to trick the elves, he did actually take over man and almost the dwarves, which led to everybody's downfall in the end if it wasn't for the One Ring getting put into wrong hands.
Time, there we go. Okay, and your 15-second rebuttal starts now, Michael.
So you're basically going off the premise that he was able to almost dominate the entire Middle-earth, but Lord Voldemort's focus was specifically regarding Britain, and he had many more followers at least per a certain person than what happened in Lord of the Rings.
Time. Courtney, you may go.
I think that Voldemort was looking too small and he should have gone bigger. At the end of the day, it was because of his own fault that the Horcrux ended up in Harry, because of his carelessness, because he couldn't do his job properly.
And time. I have my answer. Jay, do you have yours? We'll say it at the same time. I'll count us down. If we choose different people, then it's awkward, and then the people behind the cameras can choose. And 3, 2, 1.
Michael.
Courtney. Wow. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Behind the screens, what do you guys think?
Courtney, she spoke about his plans more clearly.
Yeah, fair.
And Courtney.
There we go. So the points are now 3-2 to Courtney. We are moving on to the next one.
How many speed rounds are there?
Enough. So it's ultimately first to 5.
Okay.
Cool. Well, there's 5. Sorry. That's a terrible way for me to have said it. There are 5 questions.
Okay.
Okay. The next question, and I wouldn't be able to answer this one, so I'm glad I don't have to. What is the worst South African accent in a movie?
Afrikaans.
Okay, which actor gave the worst accent in a movie from South? Which actor gave the worst?
Okay.
I can't remember the particular actress's name, but
Courtney, if you can say it before him, you get the point. Like if you have
It's
an
the
answer.
dude from Beekeeper, the South African mercenary.
it's definitely not that. It's
Okay, just keep going. Both of you, give me an answer. I know.
It's in Lucifer.
Okay. It's a movie. It has to be a movie.
Oh, does it have to be a movie?
Has to be a movie, yeah.
Okay.
Are you still sticking to Beekeeper guy?
The mercenary from Beekeeper.
Okay. You have 5 more seconds, or you're gonna forfeit. 4, 3.
I'm gonna say an A team.
Who had the South African accent in the 80s?
No, but he did. He's not, but he did use a South African accent in one of the movies. You can fact check that.
Yes, but it wasn't in A.
It wasn't in the A team.
It was in the A team that had
The guy that played in yeah.
Yeah, so there was a time when there was a news reporter, like, little bit, and then he went to the news reporter pretending to be a South African, and it was absolutely
Okay, cool.
atrocious.
It works. Okay. And Courtney, your 20 seconds starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think that the accent in Beekeeper was atrocious. There's nothing more atrocious than somebody who's pretending to be a four-ways but and have a thick South African Afrikaans accent. My brew, hey, four-ways velocity, eh? Fricky.
Okay, is that it? Time. Okay. If there was points for entertainment, you get it. Okay, and Michael, your 20 seconds starts now.
So my point is more coming about the fact that in the A team, he is stereotypically attributing the style of Afrikaans to, like, very thick old school Afrikaans that doesn't really exist anymore unless people force it. Yo, bro, what you doing there? I need to try and find one of these things. And I mean, Afrikaners don't really speak like that, like nowhere. Even the thick Afrikaans.
Courtney, your 15 seconds starts now.
Have you been to Sasolburg recently? Because they all sound like that.
Not like that.
I think that to have such a badass character and then to have this amalgamation of, I don't know if he was Scottish, South African, Afrikaans, he just completely and utterly destroyed South African accents.
Stop. There we go. And Michael, your 15 seconds starts. I'm making too many laps now.
That was the point, which is the worst Afrikaans accent. He definitely had the worst Afrikaans accent. In the Beekeeper, he sounded more four-ways. He didn't really sound Afrikaans. The whole point is based around Afrikaans accent. A very bad. Oh, sorry, South African accent. You're right. I fucked that.
Stop.
Always not in South Africa, sir.
Yeah. We all think it's pretty clear. Let's count it down again. 3, 2, 1. Courtney.
Yeah,
There
I
we go.
fucked that one up.
Also,
myself.
no, it's a valid point because I remember watching that movie going,
What?
South Africa? Okay, now I like him, but I had to genuinely think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the score currently is
3-3.
3-3. Thank you for reminding me,
I'm
Michael.
doing terribly.
Okay. What is the most epic movie beard?
Sure. Can it be animated?
Yes?
Hiccup's father from How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay, good
Stoic.
one. Good one.
Stoic.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
I think Blackbeard from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, good. Yo, how's it? You can't. What? I am shocked.
No, I was-
no one say Gandalf.
I was gonna actually say
Gandalf and Dumbledore were two very obvious choices, so I didn't want to say any of them.
I like that. Okay, Courtney, your 20 seconds starts now.
I think that Stoic had an epic beard compared to Gandalf and Dumbledore because, listen, theirs is long, it's majestic, but I think that Vikings having a beard adds a lot to his character, giving his gruffness and his stoicness, using both terms of the word.
That was good. Don't cut yourself off. You still had 5
I still
seconds.
have more.
No, you're done now. You had 5 seconds. Michael, your 20 seconds starts now.
So Stoic had a cool beard, but so do all Vikings. Blackbeard was literally synonymous with his actual beard that he had. The whole reason he became a popular thing in pirate culture is because of his beard. People were notoriously aimed at looking at Blackbeard, who obviously had a black beard. So the beard is really cool. It's long, it's epic, and he's named after it.
Time. You guys don't like speaking. Okay, Courtney, your 15 seconds to rebuttal starts now.
We're talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean Blackbeard, right? In that movie, not the best beard. In the actual history and the lore, yes, 100%, but not specifically in that movie. I would like to argue that Stoic's beard is way more epic given the size and the majesticness and care of it.
Time. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you're referring to Pirates of the Caribbean, but Blackbeard is a real pirate, so you can argue for both points. Stoic's beard is cool, but it's just as good as all the other characters in any Viking movie ever. They literally all have the exact same style of beard. So Blackbeard is notorious for his beard, and therefore he should win.
Time. I would like to say before we answer, we do not take actual history into account here. It is called plot armor because we argue movies, not history. Okay. Do you have an answer?
I honestly think Courtney won this one mainly because I'm also biased towards the Scottish having a nice beard.
Give me a high five!
I think your points were fantastic, Michael. Unfortunately, we don't take history. We don't like reality here. We only like movies.
But his beard was still pretty cool in the movie as well.
Compared to
pretty cool.
Stoics,
But
though.
was it as cool as Stoics?
Yeah, fine.
So this one
fine.
goes to Courtney, who has been killing it on the speed round. So the score is currently 4-3.
And I just want to add, the beard in How to Train Your Dragon from this year was also quite nice.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Okay. So I want you to know this. So this is a this or that question, meaning I'm going to ask you this or that. And so one of you have to, those are the only options. So first come, first serve. And even if you didn't want the this or the that, if you get the this or the that, you have to argue for it. Okay. So action comedy or rom-com?
Action comedy.
Okay, so Michael's got the action comedy, you've got the rom-com. Michael, take us away. Your 20 seconds starts now.
Action comedy has all the aspects of rom-com associated in as well. With action, everyone wants to really have like a pretty epic movie where they can still see this grit, see this action sequences, get that adrenaline rush, and then still laugh at the end. So in a rom-com, yes, you got that romance thing, but in an action comedy, you can still have romance. So I think action comedy kind of covers a bit of a broader aspect.
Stop. Courtney, your time starts now.
I think rom-coms are more authentic than action comedy because you don't need to necessarily have a physical explosion to laugh at something. You can have it with a good crafted, well-written script while including the romance and everything like that. And there's a lot of comedy in romance itself, whether it be flirting, talking to girls, which can be especially difficult. So I think that it's the stronger and needs to be better written genre.
Time. Michael, your 15 seconds to rebuttal starts now.
Rom-coms are usually very overly dramatized and they're not actually very realistic or authentic at all. So I don't think any authenticity stems from there. If you look at any action comedy where there is a dynamic between two romantic characters, it's probably more well enhanced because they go through these action scenes together.
Courtney, 15 seconds starting now.
I think that is the last genre that should be talking about realistic. I can't just jump out of our window, suddenly kiss the girl, and win a poker game. You know, I feel like the rom-com could be slightly more realistic because you're not, I'm definitely the chosen one, the spy, the main character all of the time, every time.
That's only an action movie. Not an action comedy.
Jay, do you have an answer?
I think...
or do you want us to count it down and
I
we just shout
think
it
it
out?
would be Courtney because my reasoning for getting this point is because movies aren't supposed to be realistic, but also it's at the same time supposed to be realistic.
Well, this one's going to have to go to behind the cameras because I actually give the point to Michael.
Finally.
So, and it's, Michael?
Michael.
Yeah! Down to the wire.
In the spirit of not believing in ties, I need to ask you guys, what would be the most traumatizing movie to watch in 4DX?
Human Caterpillar.
It's actually human centipede.
Oh, sorry, Human Centipede, yes.
Fair enough, okay.
Caterpillar, Centipede, same shit, they both worms.
They're really not though. Courtney, you have 5 seconds to give me an answer.
Could I be sassy and say that is mine because I technically said it first correctly?
Oh yeah. Michael, give me a different answer. You have 5 seconds.
Game of Thrones, but graphic.
No, it has to be a movie. You have 2 seconds.
Just name a movie.
Name a movie. 2, 1.
Fast and Furious.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
I feel like I got my point taken away from me.
We'll see how she argues it. Okay. and
Bamboozled.
I'll use my cell phone to time this. Okay. Courtney, your 20 seconds starts now.
Just imagine if you had human centipede being back in Auschwitz with German scientists testing on people. Imagine the smell, the conditions, everything like that, the complete lack of humanity, and having that all in 4D could be horrific.
You have 7 seconds.
Just yes.
Michael, use your 20 seconds.
I will use it
starting now.
very, very, very well. Can I
Go.
Right. So, Fast and Furious, of course, it's a movie that is going to be super graphic when it comes to all the actions. I actually don't have a point for this. I'm gonna happily
Break it till you make it.
Okay.
Do it.
Can I redo that?
No, you have 7 seconds. Go.
Imagine seeing Dominique Toretto saying fucking family in 4D.
I love that so much.
I would like to say that human cat. Actually, I want human caterpillar.
Courtney,
Wait, hold on, fact check
15
this. Is there a movie called that?
Okay,
That's too late.
Courtney, go.
Fuck.
I think that it would be more traumatic than hearing Dominic Toretto say family, because it has the Holocaust, the murder of millions of people, and now you get to experience
Time.
those conditions.
Vincent, fact check that, please. Michael, your 15 seconds.
I'm gonna try and go in a very weird direction.
I trust you.
All right.
15 seconds starting now.
All right. So there is an absolute no fucking way that anyone's going to go to a 4D cinema to go and watch the human caterpillar. So I don't actually think it's going to be traumatizing for anyone to go and watch it, because they wouldn't fucking watch it. What they will do is they will go and watch Family in a cinema, and they will go and potentially see all these cars crash and go boom. Yes, it'll be loud.
Time.
Family!
I don't know how much you can say about Fast and Furious in 4D.
I think I did a good job despite the
What is the most traumatic movie to watch in 4DX? What do we... Has anyone here been to a 4DX cinema?
I haven't.
Isn't there one? at Gold
Yes, actually.
Reef? There's one at Gold Reef. No?
That's just a 4D cinema. It's not 4DX.
What's the X?
The new Metro.
Okay, white boy.
Okay. Can I give my honest opinion?
Before you do, fact checker here, you can't see me. The Holocaust aspect of that movie is in the sequels, not in the initial movie.
Yes. So So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this as the host. That can't count. That can't count. That was terrible from all accounts. So we will ask you a new question.
Thanks, shit.
If one MCU movie had to be remade, what movie would it be?
Captain Marvel.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay, Michael, your 20 seconds starts now.
I don't really need to say a lot about Captain Marvel. It was a very poorly timed movie. The main actress, I can't remember her name now, but in any case, she didn't really do a good job. She was also very vocal, like Rachel Zegler. This is a different debate, so you can't bring those points up. But the whole point is that Captain Marvel wasn't well structured, was very poorly received, and it didn't really fall...
Michael flipped a switch 20 minutes ago and has not been able to return it.
The actress is Brie Larson.
Thank you,
Yes.
Brie Larson, yes.
Courtney, 20 seconds starting now.
I would say that Far From Home could be remade, but not completely remade. Remade in the sense of it could do with a lot of polish and not just have member berries with Back in Black. I think there are a lot of aspects that are good, but could be made better with a remake. Ta-da! Jazz hands.
You have so much time still. Okay, Michael, your 15 seconds to rebuttal starts now.
I'm going to draw this as a comparison. You can't rewatch Captain Marvel. It's going to be an ass movie no matter how many times you watch it. You can watch Far From Home. It wasn't a bad movie. If you try and remake it, it's going to be a good movie. But if you remake Captain Marvel, everyone will go and rewatch it, and they will have to make it a better movie. So I don't really think they can really improve.
Courtney, your 15 seconds starts now.
I personally don't think anybody would want to go watch a a remake of Captain Marvel because it was so shit. I think that if we just had to improve Far From Home more, it would be even better than it already is. And Captain Marvel, Brie Larson has completely destroyed the character.
Okay, this is what I think we're going to do. We're not going to give any explanations. You and I, we're going to count down. You shout out your answer. 3, 2, 1. Michael!
Sure.
Jeffrey, your answer.
Michael. Yeah.
Michael. Okay. Michael, you are our main character for the episode.
Yes.
Well done.
Well done.
Courtney, you fought ferociously. Jay, you were a fantastic judge with me. I appreciate it.
I felt like Jay was against me the whole time. every time.
No, but you know what's funny though? He gave you more points than I did.
Oh, really?
Yes.
By the way, the only reason why I chose Courtney is because he didn't give a real reason why to remake.
Too late. When is released?
Yeah, the winner's been shouted.
I was hoping no one would pick
If you
up
think
on
about
that.
it, Captain Marvel was leading into Avengers Endgame and past history. She literally.
I'll say this. He brought up a very valid point that it wasn't actually released at the right time. You should not have released Captain Marvel between Infinity War and Endgame.
Poorly
And also,
timed.
Jeff and Vincent agree with me. Okay.
My opinion doesn't matter.
Not anymore, it doesn't. Your judging has been revoked. So I would just like to say we have obviously come to the end of our episode once again. Well done to Michael. Thank you so much for coming. You are the main character for today's episode.
Yes.
The rest of them are just extras. So before we just go into thank yous, I just want to go once again. Jay, can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you have coming out on the radar so people can go follow you and all of that wonderful stuff?
Okay, so I'm currently, since I've finished college, I'm now working on reviews and even posting rumors and reposting them from the likes of Daniel RPK. And I'll be posting about announcements as well as visiting the likes of Gold Reef, Disneyland, and the upcoming Universal Studios Britain.
That's amazing. Courtney?
What is the question?
Just shout yourself
blanked.
out. Shout yourself out. Shout out your businesses. Where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Diceskis, or you can
Show your
follow
thingies.
Diceskis. I make dice and curios for D&D.
I should recruit you for my website.
Yes, queen. I'm also a freelance graphic designer that do websites, branding, and everything like that. So really mixed bag of tricks.
And finally, Michael, round us off.
Can we talk about personal stuff?
Knock yourself out.
Cool. So yeah, everyone knows I'm Michael. I'm busy doing my PhD in physics at the moment, and I have a black belt in kickboxing. That's in the purple side. Oh, sorry, in the personal side. In the business side, like I said about Mythical Mecha, blah, blah, go follow me, whatever the case is. We are going to be hosting like a mini-con event, hopefully soon at Nexus Hub we're looking at the 8th of November. So be sure to check our posts and our socials to make sure that you get your tickets.
Everything will be in the description below. I just really want to thank
These are goats.
Tibadine. I'm dying, I'm choking. I would really like to thank Tibadine for the fantastic mocktails. It's really nice to have you back. And then obviously, Jeff, Vincent, and I really want to thank God because this is impossible without him. The only reason we got our equipment, the only reason we met each other is because God enabled it all to happen. And we're doing this to honor him. And then we want to thank JJ, who gave everybody, you guys can quickly show your artworks. We do this really cool thing where, thank you, Vincent, where we have an artist named JJ to basically just do quick little designs of everyone breaking their plot armor virginity when they join the show.
Caleb, you
And it's
gotta
on
stop
camera
calling
now,
it
so
that.
that's what we call it.
It sticks. I think if you guys ever do that, I'll stop supporting. Just keep it as plot armor virginity. It's great.
But guys, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.